And we're live. Another episode.
Episode
Episode 7.
7.
Oh, the week's done. There you go.
Episode
1 week
7.
of
Yeah, that's 1 week
and
of
we have a
episodes.
guest today, Saeed Jamal from
Saeed.
Lebanon. Yes, our
Man,
Lebanese
Guys,
correspondent.
how long has it
So,
been since I've seen you, Saeed?
it's been a while, man. It's been almost a year
Been
now.
like a year? It is a year. It's been a year, I think. I saw you last January 19, 2019.
More than a year, yeah.
Yeah, so it's been over a year. How have you been? How's it going? How's things?
I've been good, I guess. Like with the current situation, as good as can be.
As good as can be. So would you like to let our audience know who you are and how you know us and all that good stuff?
All right. So my name is Saeed Jammal. I originally know Ali Haejl from high school, and then through him I met Ali Shammari, and I guess they felt that I should be on this podcast.
yes, it's true.
Yeah. So if you guys don't know, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the reason why Ali invited me was because I'm a political science major, so he thinks I know a bit about the current situation in our country.
Which is not bad, and
probably
for you guys should also know Saeed is a comic. You're a comedian now. You do
wannabe comic, yeah, you could say that.
I want to be okay. We'll stick with that. That seems appropriate, which is pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So today's episode is in today's news, pretty self-explanatory.
In today's news, what's going on nowadays?
Yeah, what's going on? So let's see. So we have the SpaceX. They finally launched their own commercial jet from the United States.
Look at this.
Which is, yeah. And I think it was an hour ago when they finally entered the ISS, the International Space Station.
Oh, they landed? They docked them?
They docked them and they're in the space station right now.
That's incredible.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
Here's why it's a big thing. Usually astronauts from NASA would send them to Russia and they would board the Soyuz capsule and they'd pay like what, 4 billion or like in the billions just per astronaut. So now they decided, let's spend that money on SpaceX, which is, about time. And they're finally going to launch their own rockets to space now.
Well, they're not fine. Yeah, they are.
Interesting to others.
Yes, dude,
but
they are.
That's pretty cool. They're going to cut their space budgets, and it's not bad. It's not bad at all.
It's pretty cool. This is pretty cool because it's game changing. We haven't had something like this in a very long time, space travel, especially in the United States. And and like Elon Musk and the NASA team were able to, in the midst of all this chaos, able to pull together and do a huge achievement for humanity by getting us into outer space. I know people are like, why do you care about going to outer space, right? But if you think about it from like a global historic, perspective, this is one step closer for us becoming intergalactic space travelers. How about that? Yeah.
How about that?
What
do you think about the whole situation, Saeed?
I mean, there's still for me, like the whole space program thing is good for like increasing our knowledge on the universe that we live in, and getting to know what's going on outside just our little planet. But till now, there hasn't been anything tangible that we have brought back from outside that we can actually use, on Earth. As in, I'm talking from maybe more of a materialistic point of view, like something that we can use in our hands and like better our lives. Now, okay, for education-wise and knowledge, it's something that we're working on. But
interesting.
There's still something to gain from it.
You know what? Yeah, that's true. We should I think that's actually one of the few things that they're planning on improving on the ISS. I think they want to do more scientific projects. So they want to test out a lot of like medical, physical, chemical, all that like aspect of science. They want to test it in the ISS now, since they're going to be able to, cheaply send stuff. Yeah.
That's amazing that they're able to do that.
Which is, it will further, I hope it will further our understanding of, microgravity or zero gravity and living life for those long distances that we're going to be having in the near future. Yeah.
That's
So
pretty cool.
in other news,
In other
America's
news,
gone to shit.
America is a country. That is true.
Yeah, like they've completely gone to shit. They started rioting,
Yes.
looting.
I think, you know what I think it is? I think people are playing too much Call of Duty. I think that's what's happening. People are playing too much Call of Duty. Everyone's inside. And all these cops are like, hey, we got to go outside and pretend we're like, let's get him. At him, lads. And we're the riot shields walking through. You know what I mean?
Did you see the video of the guy who they launched a tear gas grenade and in midair the guy kicks it back like some Did you see that video? And he kicks it back into the police, which was it was the funniest video I've seen in a while, dude. I wish I could pull it up right now, but like I saw it on Twitter, it was funny.
That's incredible, dude. Yeah.
Although it's an amazing thing that guy did, but I'm sorry to say, someone in Lebanon already did it.
Oh, you're kidding. Someone in Lebanon's already done it. Lebanon's ahead of the game in every way, maybe.
Yeah, dude. Like if when it comes to rioting and protesting, like you guys are like, that's your shit right there. That's like what you got. But dude, like they put it in slow-mo and they captured it on an iPhone, so the camera quality was like you could see the kick and the change of the flames grenade going all the way back to. It was the funniest shit. I watched it like 10 times in a row. I couldn't get enough of it. It was so good.
That's
so. Ellie, what's happening in LA?
Yeah. What's happening in LA?
Yeah, like how's LA?
Oh yeah, wait. This is true. Wait, let me stream. I found it. But this is also from Lebanon. This is from Lebanon in December. How about that side? Any commentary? All right. Lebanese protester kicks back tear gas at police midair. If you guys who are listening, this guy is literally just kicking back this flamethrower. Side, where is this happening?
This is in downtown.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Can you give us some context? This was in December. That's how I was like, wait, this is not current. This was already happening a couple of months back, right? What was happening here at this point in December?
Okay, so basically this was part of like the whole protest movement that became into like a revolution, which became called the Thawrat 17 Tishrin, which is the 17th November movement, and where everyone finally came to their senses and like started. This was more of like a cultural change as well in the country, where people started. Okay, they finally noticed that after 30 years, that the politicians that they've been constantly voting for on and on and on are not good representatives for them. So a lot of people went down. So on the second day of the revolution, we literally had 2 million Lebanese people on the streets. And
out of a population of how much? Out of a population of how much?
Out of a population of 4 million.
So yeah, so that's like half the population. Yes.
Half the population. Yeah.
The country
that explains.
Revolting.
Continue. Yes.
Okay. So
what's new? So after, did they get what they wanted in the end, or what happened?
They got one of the things they wanted. So, for example, the first thing that they wanted was that the current prime minister at the time to resign, and which is what happened. It was Saad al-Hariri at the time. He was the prime minister, and he resigned. They eventually made a new government with Hassan Diab as the current prime minister. And the thing is, the people weren't really happy with the decision at the time, but they didn't. It's still out of their hands until the next parliamentary elections, which is in 2022.
2022.
So yeah. 2 years, you guys gotta live with that guy.
Basically, and so now we're just, I guess you could say, riding the train with what we have.
By the way, if you have any opinions on that guy, and like, don't hold back, you can criticize. We're not politically neutral in any way. Like, if you want to say, like, oh, that guy's
I love to hear that.
Guy's an asshole.
Sure, man. Say what you want to say.
Go. Yeah, say what you want to say. This is our platform.
Yes.
Like, honestly, I don't know if he was the right choice for the current situation that we're going through, but I mean, he could do way more. That's all that's what I can say.
Yes.
And another thing, he really loves he has a lot of self-love for himself, like too much.
So-
I mean, the
Oh no, another Trump in office.
well, yeah, dude. I feel like all these politicians just love themselves so much. That's it. They just like when they get in power, and I
this
mean,
guy, this
it's
guy,
like
to the degree that after the first 100 days of his government in office, they released like a video of their accomplishments, which was basically the whole accomplishments in those 100 days was making promises and trying.
they made some promises.
They did, yeah.
Accomplishment! Hooray!
dude. You know what was the funny? Like, look, listen. This is where I realized my love for the Lebanese people. In one of the protests, I don't know where exactly, a DJ went up in a balcony, set up his speakers, and he turned the whole thing into a party. I
That was,
saw that video. I lost it. I was like, oh my
that
god, these people are amazing. They turned.
it what's it called? They did it for many days, for consecutive like weeks on end. They were just like people would come up, DJs would come up, and in Tripoli like it was always lit the whole time. Everyone's just like dancing and there's like and people protesting like all at the same time. You know, it's just it was crazy.
That was amazing. Yeah, show the video.
Yeah, it's
Show the
like
video.
people singing and dancing and having. I mean,
It
it's.
was
I'm
amazing.
not having fun, of course.
Yeah, it was.
But you can tell that it's peaceful, right? It's a very different vibe than what's happening in the United States right now, right? I feel like
It is.
more people are angry here, as opposed to Lebanon. Even though, well, what are Lebanese people asking for right now? What are the real current struggles in Lebanon? What do you say? Imagine you're talking to an international audience who really doesn't understand
Yeah,
Lebanon.
by the way, we
Yeah.
do have international. Shout out Poland, you know who you are. Shout out UK,
Yes.
who are
So people,
watching.
yeah, and it's good to spread awareness,
Shout out
so people can
Portugal
get
as
the
well.
context that other countries have gone through processes like these,
Processes,
and
yeah.
and being able to see and learn from each other. So yeah,
The
so what
platform
happened?
is
What
yours.
happened in
Go
Lebanon?
ahead.
Who was in charge? Who was in charge before, right? And
Why
why
was he
is
bad?
this and why is this replacement less bad?
Well, the problem is the blame doesn't go back to one person. You know, it's spread out over all of the political parties that are currently active, and that's the issue. That's the issue at hand. These political parties have basically divided the country into their own groups, and they're also wherever these political parties are located, it's like they own that territory. So
And to those who, not to cut you off, Saeed, but to those who
yeah,
are watching and they don't know the situation in Lebanon, Lebanon's already pretty divided. So to divide it even more, I think is like even worse. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ali and Saeed.
Yeah.
very true. Like for example, recently they were talking about if the country became like a federal state. Now, for me, making Lebanon a federal state is not a smart idea because the
What does
country
that
that is,
mean? Yeah. What does that mean? Making it a federal state?
for example, making it like the U.S. have states, like a country but divided into states. So
Yes.
there isn't a like a finished plan on the topic. It was just like something that was debated. But the problem with that is it would completely divide the country into. So when I mentioned the political parties, they exist on like specific areas in the country. So those specific areas that they are residing in would become their own countries in a way.
They already are almost like their own countries in that everyone
Are.
lives around each other and they
Yeah,
work together and whatnot.
that is
Yeah.
so. That's the problem. Like after the civil war, okay, they made a peace treaty and all that, but you still feel like there's tension and there's like 2 generations, 3 generations later, we still have people talking the same way as they used to in the civil war. Like they don't. So for the Sunnah and the Shia are not as friends as they're not as friendly as they used to be. Christians as well, Druze, like they're all. There isn't this connection that there should be after going through a 15-year civil war.
And I have
And
to say, like, you guys know me, I come to Lebanon like how many times a year? Twice? Once a
yeah,
year?
Yeah.
Like, the north is completely different to the Midlands, which is completely different to Beirut, and it's completely different to the south. And like you feel like it's different countries. You know, it's like I'm not saying that it's the difference between Amman and Irbid, for example. No, it's the same difference between Jordan and Syria, for example. Like it's completely different. So
comparing that to the states, comparing it to the states, it's like the states are having a similar thing where like a lot of minority areas are very complete different countries to like upper class areas, right? And that's why there's a lot of disconnect in what's happening in current events, because people only see things from the perspective of their communities and how it affects them, as opposed to how it's the whole. They can't. It's hard to see it as a one whole unit, and that breaking up is happening in a country as small as Lebanon. Now imagine, right? That whole America is a huge country with 300 million people, versus Lebanon, it's a continent almost. Yeah, well, versus Lebanon's like 4 million people. So,
but
yes.
the whole situation with the protests that happen in Lebanon and the protests that are happening now in the States, the reasoning is completely different, and we will get into it in another video.
Yes.
Especially with the whole BLM movement and everything that's happening in the US.
Yes.
I promise you guys, we will get into it in a future video. But you can kind of sense and see where they're coming from, why it's more violent in the States than it was in Lebanon. You know, like you guys just wanted to remove one person and put another person.
No, it wasn't one person. Yeah. So what was
party movement?
كلهم.
Yeah. Okay. So the
yeah.
كلهم which came out, basically it meant that they wanted to remove all of the current residing politicians, from the members of parliament to the president. They wanted them all to be removed, everyone. So the thing is, we only got to the point where the what's it called, the prime minister resigned. That's that was the first biggest accomplishment that occurred. But we didn't finish what we were, what we didn't get everything that we were demanding for. So right now, what we're also demanding for is parliamentary elections to happen sooner than 2 years. So we don't have to wait 2 more years with the current roster that we have. But the thing is, we need the parliament to actually apply for that and let it pass through. But obviously, they're not going to allow that to happen, because they know they don't have as much support as they used to before.
Interesting.
So is the protest still going on, or due to coronavirus, everyone's
now
down?
Before the coronavirus, it started slowing down a bit, but the thoughts were like, the thing is about this revolution is it didn't only involve the people on the streets. It's also involved changing the mindset of the people who are at home. Like for me, what the only difference that I will see is, once the elections come, how the people are going to vote, because that's how you know if something has changed or not.
True. Yeah.
If they vote the same way as they've been voting for the past 30 years,
which
then
the efforts
which
of
means
2
not
million
voting,
people would have gone
right?
to waste.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
People who went down on the streets during the revolution, it went to waste.
interesting. Yeah, because I'm from what I hear in Lebanese elections is that it's rigged a lot of the time, and that most people don't go out. It has a very low turnout. Is that right? Do you know what the turnout rate is for usually the elections? Yeah.
Usually it's not exactly rigged, but for example, in specific areas, people do, for example, get maybe bought, their votes get bought, something like that.
Wait, explain what that means. Explain what that means, because I feel like buying votes is a concept that's very strange to a lot of people. Yeah.
Upright.
I mean, not in Kuwait. People do it all the time, but not in the same way you guys do it. Like in Kuwait, it's literally like, if you vote for me, I'll pay you this much. So people like literally buy votes.
That's exactly how it happens. So for example,
it is?
Yeah, I had a friend, she was approached by someone from her area, from where because we vote based on which area we're from. And she was approached, like someone would pay her for her vote. I mean, but she declined. So yeah, you have that going on, and as well you have the political parties that they kind of like bait you to vote for them, like because like they make you feel like, okay, so for example, if you're a Shia or a Sunni or a Masihi, you would vote for the political party that represents your religion in a way. So, and that's how they bait you to vote for them, because they say it's like it's us versus them. That's how they play.
Yes.
So they try and segregate more and more and try and
That's
show
how
you a line of division where it doesn't exist, just so they can secure your vote.
exactly.
Interesting. Yeah. I feel like one of the common thread between Lebanon or Hong Kong or the states right now where riots are happening or people are protesting is distrust in the authority, distrust in the government, right? People feel like they're not being heard, and the only way they can speak up is by gathering together and voicing their concerns. And as people are not, as the governments themselves are not listening or not really making any changes, people are fed up, and this has all led to rioting and fighting between the police and the people, right?
Yeah, dude, it got so bad. The hacking group Anonymous, if you guys, no, you know who they
Yes.
are. You know exactly who they
You
are.
know exactly who they are.
They
Yes.
came out of the dark, bro.
Yeah.
They're coming for, like, they released a video today. I don't know if you watched it. Basically
I've
threatening
not
the
seen it.
They shut down the Minneapolis police department's website.
Yeah.
Shut down. Okay, they brought up all of Trump's alleged child trafficking and sexual assaults.
Oh,
Hard proof, might I add.
Whoa.
Especially his links and ties with Jeff Epstein.
Whoa. Is this
They
was
brought up.
today?
This was like a few minutes ago, literally,
How
like before.
how long is this video? How long?
It's not that long. It's like like a minute,
That's a minute.
less.
Do you have it?
It's
Do you
on
know?
it's on Twitter. Let me see if I can pull it up. Meanwhile, you guys, let me
Yeah.
yeah. By the way, going back to the point you were saying
Yes.
about voicing their like, you know, my tongue twister. I don't know why.
Yeah. No. Keep
Okay.
going.
So people like they didn't voice their demands as much in during the elections, the previous elections. So you said previously that not a lot of people, there isn't a big turnout. That
Yeah.
is true. We have around, in the last elections, there was around 48% of the population that didn't vote, of the voting population.
That's a lot. Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
the difference that would have made.
Yeah, well, why do you think people are not voting? Is it because they're scared to vote, or is it that they feel like they're not going to be heard, or there's not going to be change, or they're just happy the way they are?
They probably, no, but the people who aren't voting are the ones who don't think that their vote will make a difference. Because the people
Okay.
who are voting are usually the ones who are either bought or the ones who are followers of a political party.
Okay.
I found the video. I'm gonna try and share screen. Tell me if this works or not.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Sounds good.
disabled. You need to enable the.
Let's see if this work. Yeah. All
Okay.
right.
Perfect. Okay. Here we go. Are you guys watching?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
man.
I can't hear though.
Yeah, I can't hear. Can you tell us what's happening, Ali? For the people on
Oh,
radio.
you guys, you can't hear?
You can't
No.
hear. Yeah. Can you read whatever is for the people who are listening also?
Okay. No, because my internet is pretty trash.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just gonna. Here we go. Let's stop the sharing.
Yeah. Stop it.
Basically, they came out saying we've exposed all of you idiots. We are saying that they're saying stuff like people are finally waking up and seeing that the middle to lower class are finally being ruled by the top 1%, and the police departments in the states are basically their mechanism of keeping them controlled. Instead of them swearing to maintain the peace and look after the citizens, they're just oppressing the citizens and basically trying to gain control. And like they touch up a little bit about Trump and like Jeff Epstein, but in the later tweets, they tweeted stuff about, like, they showed pictures of all the people involved in the whole Jeff Epstein child trafficking and child molestation accusations with substantial. I mean, I don't want to use the word substantial. Let's say proof, but not really. Like they showed pictures of a paper that
more
basically has
proof.
a list
Yeah.
of names, you know.
Where it's just more. It's
But
just
like
more evidence. We already have a bunch of. Saeed, are you familiar with Jeffrey Epstein
Jeff,
and his whole scandal that happened in the States?
I have little knowledge about it. Like I know that he used to have like would he have like some sort of like child what's it called, child orgies for celebrities and stuff like that, or some, I
Ali,
don't know.
do you have more any more information? Do you
not a
know about
lot,
this?
but
Yeah.
I know that like ever since the 80s, like he was doing a lot of child molestation, human trafficking,
Mhm.
sexual assaults on minors, uh,
Well,
statutory
basically,
rape.
this guy Jeffrey Epstein, who died last year, was this businessman figure who had a lot of tie with a lot of Hollywood elites, a lot of academics, and he used to fly on his private jet with all these celebrities, and he used to get underage children on this plane and make them do sexual activities with a bunch of huge. A lot of huge people were on those planes, like
It's not just
Donald
celebrities;
Trump,
it's royalties as
your
well.
royalties. Prince Andrew was currently he got taken out of office, right? He was asked to step down because of all these
Of the
allegations, all
whole
the heat.
allegations. Yeah.
Yes, Trump, Bill Clinton was on that plane a lot, and Bill Gates also, and Steven Pinker and a bunch of other like academics and Tom Hanks and et cetera, et cetera. You can look it up.
It's not only it's not people think it's just underage girls. It was both girls and boys. Like
Interesting.
they did
Yeah.
not spare like any gender, you know.
Anyways, yeah. So what happened? This controversy went on for a while, and then Jeffrey Epstein went to jail, and then he got out of jail, and and then more and more evidence were piling up. People spoke up against them, and Jeffrey Epstein got
Apparently,
arrested. Yeah.
according to Anonymous, he got killed. By the way, he wasn't like he didn't just die; he was assassinated.
Well, yeah. This is what this is all been up to. Anyways, so he gets imprisoned. They send him to jail, and then as more information is building, and then he has to testify. Um, he's kept in a high security cell, and all of a sudden he dies, and then they claim that he killed himself.
Out of nowhere.
All the footage was gone. All the security footage for some reason wasn't available, and they just claimed he killed himself in like a high security cell. That's like a suicide watch, cell.
Yeah, I
For
remember a video describing the events that happened. Like this guy was supposed to. I think he was in a cell by himself. He was, but I think he used to have a roommate. But then before the day he died, the roommate wasn't there. Like they transferred him or something like that. And the guy always had a security camera on him and the security guards. Somehow the security guard didn't notice anything, or like they weren't. They probably like took a break at the time that he died, and the cameras weren't working, or they returned to a different direction.
yeah.
And even they had restrictions on his cell where he was not allowed to have like long sheets or anything like that, so he doesn't try to commit suicide.
And so
So
how do you do it? Or
the,
yeah.
the,
So that's yeah. Well,
the thing
that's the. Mhm.
that he used to supposedly kill himself, wasn't originally in his room, but somehow it came into his room and
Interesting.
he hanged himself.
Interesting.
So yeah, no, that's true. And Anonymous have been saying that Donald Trump was the one who
Got him.
placed a hit on him, basically,
Yeah.
just so that they don't impeach him. Because imagine you have a president that's a child molester,
Yeah.
involved in child, not even human, child
Child
trafficking.
trafficking. Yeah.
Okay, and was like, and you could see now Trump. There was an interview when they asked him about Jeff Epstein, and he basically said, "Oh, I don't like that guy." But there were videos of him in the 80s partying with him, smiling with him, laughing with him. There was an interview with the New York Times where he literally was like, "Yeah, I like Jeff Epstein. He's such a good guy. He's funny to be around." And at the height of the controversy, "Oh, I don't like that guy." I don't think
Yeah,
that's how it works.
honestly, no one is innocent at least in life. That's the
No one is
simple.
innocent. I'm sure some people are innocent. I feel like there's some good people. There are definitely people who've not
Yeah,
caught.
Or
children, innocent people, and good-hearted people. Yeah.
they're just hiding their shit, that's all.
Oh man. Yeah.
Anyone given
yeah.
the
No, I would disagree. I would say most people are good people fundamentally, and there are a lot of corrupt people
I'd agree more with
out
the
there.
Saeed.
That what
honestly, Ali,
that people.
Ali, you have to be given. Okay, maybe the people that you're talking about that are innocent haven't reached the stage where they were given the opportunity to go on to their to work onto
Dark
their
side.
yeah.
Yeah,
The
they
dark
weren't
side.
given the opportunity to like manifest or like to show that side of them, you know. But I believe that there's good and bad in everyone. Some people it's unbalanced. Some people are more bad than good. Some people are more good than bad. Doesn't negate the fact that there is still bad, but you
Sure.
just have a lot of good that outweighs it, you know.
Well, yeah.
That's my philosophy when I meet new people or talk to new people. But I think the whole like I don't know how Trump is gonna like divert the whole. I think that's what's going on. I think the whole. I don't want to say that the whole riots and everything going on in America is, you know, Trump's plan, but I'm thinking that he's taking the advantage of this all happening just to divert the whole, you know, awkward situation. You know, the whole
That's
awkward silence thing.
I'll,
the only benefits from this.
And yeah, that's the thing, you know. As oh, Saeed's first awkward silence. Give him clap.
He did it.
Give him a clap. He deserves it. He took it like
Yeah, he took it like a champ.
He took it like a
Yes.
champ. Well done. He's
Yeah.
like shocked. He's like, I don't know what to say. But yeah, that's a recurring segment on our show. Time to, you know, address the elephants in the room.
Yes.
But now that we addressed, I think we're gonna switch it up to something else. What do you think, Haejl?
I think so. I agree. I don't know. It can keep happening. We'll figure it out as it goes along.
We'll figure it out. Yeah.
We'll figure it out as it goes along. That's how it all goes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how it all goes. But yeah, well done on Tay. You took it like a champ. I'm proud of you, Saeed. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Accomplishments.
Sure
Elon Musk shoots people to space, right? Also, Saeed Jammal is on this podcast. Those are two accomplishments for this week.
That happened
I-
today. Put it on
there
the
you go.
news, CNN.
On the news
Cool.
today.
Speaking
on
of
the news.
CNN,
Yes.
did you see that CNN reporter? I think his name was Omar. He got arrested for no reason, and he was like the only colored person in his group.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he got arrested like literally for no reason.
Wait, no. What was this? I don't know. What happened?
This is today as well. So during the rioting, the CNN reporter, he has like all the clearance and all the paperwork. He even has a little badge that's like under his belt. And in the middle of reporting, like the cops in full riot gear, they come, they start arresting him. He's just like, oh, he's just like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm being arrested at this. And then he hands the mic to the cameraman and he starts getting arrested. I saw this, I laughed. I was like, they can't be that bad. It can't be that bad.
No, they are. That it is getting bad, especially in places that are more like violent,
Yeah.
like Minneapolis or like Los Angeles. Even currently here, we had a lockdown last night. Everyone had to go home, a curfew from 8 p.m. to 5:30 a.m. Because there was so much looting and rioting happening on like the streets, like right by CNN actually. Yeah. So
Are you rioting early?
no, I'm staying inside trying to do this podcast. Actually, this is what I'm doing. Shame. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Aren't you trying to loot Target, man? I'm like,
Dude, if I was
Target?
walking, all right, how about this? Okay, if you were walking by the street, if you're walking by and Target was like open, would you not go inside and like take like a pack of chips or something?
I mean,
Right.
if it's looted and there's rioting, I'd be like, I'll pay you later, maybe. I'll just bounce. But it's not like I'm gonna just be like, oh, you know what?
Like that kind of thing.
Like, I want chips. I'm not gonna wait. Do that.
It's true. All right, how about you see that video of the girl carrying the lamps and running out of Target? She was like, I need those
No.
lamps now. I'll stream it, or you make me host. I can stream it if you make me host.
I don't know how to
Yeah.
do that.
It's
Participants, make me host. Anyways, yeah. So basically, just like a bunch of right here, there are a bunch of stores that have been destroyed, like small businesses that have been smashed, and people like have stolen. There was this guy who stole an ATM machine actually, who stole an ATM machine and put it in like a back of a pickup truck. And like the pickup truck had no license plate, right? This is like very Lebanese style maneuvering. Like they took the ATM, they put it in the back of the pickup truck, and they drove away with it. Right, no license plate. And so like, yeah, and that's but like it really is very
the inner
strange.
Lebanese is coming out. The inner Lebanese is just like coming out.
Yeah, dude.
Guys,
No, it is interesting. Yeah.
we want to send you what's it called, mentors, and they like direct your riots and stuff. They can teach you how to do it better. You know,
Yeah.
better looting, better burning down stuff, and like proper closing, more efficient in a more efficient way. Close the
You
road.
know what they're doing, Saeed? When you go on Twitter today and you see all this stuff, I'm gonna try and I don't know if you guys follow me on Twitter or not. I'll put my Twitter in the description.
Go for it.
I was watching this thing. There's like a whole thread on Twitter, basically Americans bullying the riot police. It was the funniest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah, look at this.
What's this?
This is Target.
Karen looking at lamps.
Yeah, so this is Target here. Yeah, this is pretty smashed, as you can see here. Just like,
is this next to you?
This is in Minneapolis, which is I don't know what state. Someone tell me. Yeah.
Is this the Target that burned down?
Ohio, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, this was the Target. I don't think it was burned down. Just Karen, like this lady was like, "Yeah, let me take these lamps." I don't know if you saw that side. Let me play that for you again. Look at this. Yeah, she was like, "Yeah."
Down the police station.
She was like picking up lamps. Yeah, I want to know what was going on in this lady's head. She was like, "Yeah, woo, free lamps." Yeah.
It's like it's too late to redecorate my house.
It's the perfect
Never
time.
too late.
Never too late.
Man, dude, no, like this whole thing is like. You want to recap what happened ever since January?
Go for it.
January, we had the World War III scare.
World War III scare. I was in World War III scare. I was in Lebanon. I remember. And then America dropped a bomb on Iran, and I was like,
not Iran, in Iraq.
In Iraq, yeah, in Iraq.
And they killed a huge major general or something.
What's his name?
Really high. Qasimi or Qasi.
He was an Iranian general.
He was an Iranian general.
Remember his name? Do you remember?
Ali Qasimi, I'm guessing. I don't know.
No. All right.
Forgot his name.
If I did, or if I knew, I would have had him on the show.
Yeah, have him on the show. Well, he's dead. Yeah, ASAP. Anyways, so that happened. I was in Lebanon, and I was like, "Oh man, I gotta go home ASAP because that's not good. That's not good for anyone." We really thought like a world war was gonna happen in January. So that was a real scare.
At the it was like
scare.
Almost there, It's like the term throwing rocks in a house glass.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were flinging that shit left, right, and center. Apparently, no glass broke.
No glass.
Never knew it was acrylic glass,
Yeah.
So that was January. February, we dropped the bucket helmets and we opened up the hazmat suits. Coronavirus hit us off.
That was more till March. Also in February there were those fires. I'll say in Australia and here in the United States also. Yes. The one in Australia was huge. I don't know if you remember the one in Australia. How that?
I remember. It was really bad. I saw that video of the koala, like the woman that took. I don't know if you saw it. The woman that literally like grabbed the koala and put it back into like a safer place. It was, man, that was devastating. I saw it. Like it really did break my heart.
By the way, that's fires as well. Before Australia.
Oh yeah, Lebanon had fires too. Yeah, that was true. Yeah. And then how did it stop, Saeed? Do you remember how it stopped?
It rained.
It rained. If it didn't rain, what would have happened?
Saeed, it rained. Man, that was funny.
That's
no, what else happened? So that was February. March, we had, it was the beginning of the coronavirus. Let's say it was the spread of coronavirus into April, where it got really bad. Midway through April, going into May, midway April going to May, a lot of countries imposed the whole lockdown, rule. And
we're trying to open up and get back to society, and people economically were feeling the hit of this thing as more time has went.
And now May, and we have the killing of George Floyd, and our condolences, of course, to their families.
Our condolences.
And we pray that shit goes back to normal or better, let's say, for the United States.
Change. Yep.
We just discussed Elon Musk. He successfully launched 2 humans. Do you know what their names was? Their names is like the whitest names you can think of for Americans.
That's hilarious.
Bob and Doug.
Bob
Literally,
and Doug.
Bob and Doug. Yeah, they launched Bob and Doug.
Let me find it.
Saeed's dying. He's like, God damn it.
Astronauts in space. Yeah, well, I don't know. That's funny.
Bob and Doug. Literally, I swear, Saeed, I'm not joking. They're called Bob and Doug. And also in the news from May, we launched the A2 show.
There you go. Oh yeah, literally their names are Bob and Doug. Literally their names are Bob and Doug.
I told you.
Yeah. Look at these guys. Yeah, look how happy they are, man. I don't know what to tell you. Look,
See the
these guys.
suits, by the way?
Yeah, dude. I didn't see the news. Oh yeah, they were 3D printed. I saw.
Yeah, they look really good. They look better
really
than
cool.
the old.
Yeah, look at those guys.
Look
Bob and
like
Doug. I don't know which one's which. But
Remember?
I believe that Bob
Safe
is the one
travels.
with I almost said the one with the glasses. Are they both wearing glasses? No, Bob is
No.
the one with the glasses,
And that
and
guy's
Doug
like-
is, yeah.
Yeah, dude. The Falcon.
So
The Dragon Crew. Nice.
the Dragon Crew. They named their pod Endeavor, which was like the most work name they can think of.
Dragon
This
Crew.
year, Endeavor
Yeah.
on Falcon 9.
The Falcon 9.
The Falcon
Yeah.
9.
The
Endeavor.
Falcon 9. They love it.
Yeah. So, Saeed, do you want to take us into the forecast and the weather and what it's looking like this week?
What's the weather like? Yeah, tell us.
Well, for me, it's it's not sunny, that's for sure, because it's almost midnight here.
Interesting.
So honestly, like we're supposedly going into summer, yet somehow we still have cold breezes, and I guess our country still doesn't understand that it's going into summer. And
Okay. Yes.
Being a 3-year-old girl, no, I don't want to go to summer. I don't want to. Well, what about LA? How's LA? Is it?
Yeah, it's nice and sunny as usual. The sun's out. The weather is nice. I don't know. Yeah, people are out in shorts, walking around. It is a nice place to, walk outside and loot. The weather is nice. I'll say that at least.
absolutely.
Well,
Weather
in
is
Kuwait,
nice.
boys, I can definitely tell you it's nighttime.
Yeah. It's hot there, I assume.
I mean,
No?
you don't need to assume. You already know. Like we're
I already
already like
know.
it's 30 degrees, 38, I think. Let me check actually. Let me.
That's freezing.
let me-
38 degrees? That's freezing.
Yeah, literally. It's
Celsius.
36 degrees. It's
Oh,
36
that's
degrees
freezing.
outside.
What's that in Fahrenheit? How about that?
That's not, bro. That's not.
I'm sorry, but
85, 92, what is it? Okay. I
Did
got
you
it.
not see the big ass C on my screen? Oh wait, there is no big ass C on my screen. Oops.
Oops. Yeah. Oh, well. All right, guys.
Anyways, we are ending today's episode. Thank
That
you,
was,
Saeed, for joining us.
Thank you, Saeed.
You want to shout? You have anything you want to shout out? Anything you want to, put out there to the world?
well, I'm gonna probably be releasing soon my own. I'm gonna start a political satire show. Hopefully, it works out. I don't know, but I'll let you guys know about it, and maybe we can talk about it another time.
That's true. We'd
Sounds
love to
good.
have you back.
Yeah, this was great, Saeed. Thank you, and you're happy
buddy,
to come
Saeed,
back
it's
anytime,
good.
man. Really.
And it's good
Yeah.
to see you again, buddy. I hope things go back to normal so I can come back and see you again. Anyways, this is how we end our podcast. And peace.